उतनी जगह चाहिए और जगह की क्या जरूरत है? तो बस इतनी जगह लूंगा मैं, इतना ही बड़ा मकान लूंगा और बड़ा मकान नहीं लूंगा, चिंता मत करो।
इतना बड़ा ही मकान लूंगा, इससे बड़ा नहीं लूंगा. Kejriwal is no longer that man, viewers. And let's show you how the picture has changed, quite literally so. Now look to the screen on your left. Can you see that little tile in the middle? That was his home. 399 square meters. And there's a whole plot, viewers, on the left of that. Just look to the left of your pictures. 399 square meters. That arrow points to a white tile right in the middle of that screen. Viewers, that white tile and the garden around it is now no longer there. It's only one big garden. And that entire green patch under the 399 square meter red emblem that we have put there is where a 1200 square meter home has come up. Kejriwal, who vowed to you that he would never stay in a palatial mansion, well, his house went from being an approximately 400 square meter building to more than 3 times its size, over 1200 square meters. What you see on your screens are satellite images of Kejriwal's residence. What he doesn't want you and I to see, viewers, what he protects and guards, viewers, with his life. Now let's take you through the change in status of the house year by year. To put things in perspective, let's start from this image. Focus on the right hand side of the screen. There you can see it. This is a house where Kejriwal shifted after coming to power for the second time in 2015. This entire building is constructed in about 543 square meters. So that's that little place. And just 4 years later, in March, a new building, much bigger and grander than the original, appears adjacent to that same one. So you can see that small little tile there, viewers, on the right, and now this big circled building. That's the building that was under construction. So Mr. Kejriwal is living in his old house while this mansion was being constructed on a plot where, viewers, several trees have been cut down, and we are told on the basis of the documents that it is all illegal. These trees should not have been cut down. Now let's put things in perspective. What do these images tell you? And while approvals taken for renovation, yes, only for renovation, tenders were put out for renovation, it is clear that a fresh, from scratch construction was undertaken. The new building comes up adjacent to the original one, where it would be safe to say that no modifications or alterations are taking place in the old building. We will tell you why this is not an assumption, but first look at the questions that come to mind so far. What are these questions, viewers? The first one, coming up on your screens, is a very simple one. If you thought about only undertaking a renovation, how did you end up with a reconstruction? That's the first one. Let's fire the second. Makan to Mahal, viewers. Were tenders issued for the construction of the new building? Third question, important one. Were facts about the construction of entirely new buildings hidden? Which is a whole new building, and the old building where the old one stood has become a beautiful lawn, the Kejriwal Gardens. Let's open this up, viewers. There's no time. I want to first start with Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, it might still be growing, as I told you. In 5 minutes, when I go across to Dr. Piyush Joshi, the other doctor on the show, we might have added another room at this rate. But Dr. Ranganathan, what do you make of this?
Rahul, आप अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को होमलेस करवा के ही छोड़ेंगे. I'm absolutely certain. But if you've heard about the story about the camel in the tent, what he'll say is, मैं तो छोटा आदमी हूँ जी. He will go into your house, and 1 month down the line, you will be homeless and he will be occupying your house. That's the way Kejriwal is.
No, but he won't, because I live in a Barsati, so it's a bit of a problem.
No, but the challenge that I gave last time I was on this particular issue of the debate, I repeat, because the good friend Dr. Piyush Joshi is here. I promised to put in his account immediately 15 lakhs if any explanation that he merits or gives on what Kejriwal has done is without any whataboutery and without naming Modi or the BJP. 15 lakhs straight into the account of Dr. Piyush Joshi. Straight, no questions asked. No whataboutery, not mentioning BJP or the crimes of Modi or Amit Shah. Challenge.
Dr. Joshi, straight question to you. Is this defensible, sir? I mean, look at this. Built up area goes, the man is being exposed as a hypocrite. Propriety demands you would just resign, perhaps, or open your doors, respond. Don't beat up journalists. Doctor, I hope you don't support that. We can't hear you, doctor. Please, I think you're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, please. Yeah, I really apologize, on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party as a supporter for the misbehavior with the journalist. Nothing can warrant a misbehavior, and nothing can, warrant any kind of malhandling. Now, coming to the points of Dr. Ranganathan, I think you need to keep your checkbook ready. Though I'm not a greedy man by nature. But when the last time I was on this show, I did ask a few pertinent questions. I'm yet to receive the answers to that. And the questions were that since you yourself have mentioned and you've shown all the images that this house was under construction for over a period of 3 years. So every year I did mention and they did ask the same question on your program. The CAG conducts an audit. And CAG does conduct audit of all the government departments, including the PWD. So did the CAG raise
No,
any
sir.
red flags?
I'll tell you why.
So,
you have to
yeah,
submit
please.
documents for scrutiny. If you don't, you pretend this doesn't exist. How does the CNAG do this? Can you explain, Dr. Saab?
Yeah. Rahul ji, now there are two very learned lawyers,
No, don't
some
take that.
company.
I'm asking you,
No,
how does the CNAG do an audit when it doesn't have the documents? Now you tell me.
I'm applying to that only. The CAG not only conducts a departmental audit, the CAG also conducts transactional audits. So every transaction, every payment that has been made to any contractor, any tender process. So all these transactional audits are also done by the CAG.
Again,
so
sir, again documents have to be supplied. These people don't want to supply documents to the Lieutenant Governor. Forget about the LG.
Rahul ji, you mean to say that all
No,
this
I'm asking you, sir, if they want to beat up journalists and they want to not submit documents to the LG, why will they submit it to the CNAG?
If any payment is made, the
You are a
CNAG
doctor,
is duty
you were a
bound to
COVID
conduct an
warrior.
audit.
Dr. Saab, you were a COVID warrior and that is why the whole country respects you. I want to ask a very simple question. Forget about CAG and others. At the time of the Delta wave, when Delhiites were dying for want of oxygen cylinders and doctors, your leader was spending 45 crores in refurbishing his house. Is that acceptable?
Not
Simple
refurbishing.
question to a doctor.
Building a new house. Building
Simple
one.
question to a doctor. Is that acceptable?
Now, since we are talking about COVID, can I just ask a very simple question, either to Nalin ji or to Ranganathan ji, whether PM Cares Fund is an NGO or is a government entity?
There you go.
Modi aa gaya.
What about
Modi aa gaya. Whataboutery aa gayi.
Chalo, at least your money. Dr. Ranganathan, you should have asked me that question. I would have been 25 lakhs richer tonight. But you didn't. You discriminate against me all the time. Chaliye. Okay, viewers, look. The facts are out there. We can keep shouting over each other. We can keep fighting it out. We can keep sort of, changing the goalposts. It's there, viewers. A man who says that, forget about everything else. I don't ever want to live because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Today, has a sprawling mansion. Sprawling mansion, viewers. Beautiful. And you ask a question, you get beaten up. That's democracy for you. Aam Aadmi style. I leave it at that, viewers.